Hello, YouTube family. It's Mac and I'm back. Happy Friday to you all. Thank you for stopping by to visit me on our channel and just chilling out with our family. If you're not a member of our family, please hit the like and the subscribe. If not, thank you for stopping by anyway. But I wanted to give you guys an update. I am in my office. It is Friday. It's not afternoon yet, but anyway, I wanted to share a conversation that I just had with one of my sisters in Christ. That was a phenomenal conversation. And it actually confirms a post that I had put up this morning on my Facebook, and it was something that kept coming to me. And the post had something to do with speaking to my sisters like, sis, don't compete with her, glean from her. And I think sometimes, as women, we have subconsciously been taught, or has been planted in our subconscious, that we're always competing with the next woman. And I was like, no, sis, especially if you have a true heart of sisterhood, then you want to help your sister. You want to be a blessing. You want to crown your sister and kind of help her with that. But anyway, it was like, don't compete with her, glean from her. And when you glean from her, you're gleaning from a place of her overflow, from her wisdom, from her experience, from her wealth. And sometimes you have to be humble to glean, because if I'm not with you yet, then there's something about you that I like, something about you that I need, something about you that I want. Then from that sister's overflow, I can glean. And the thing about glean is that you glean until you come to a place to where you come into your own, and then you begin to allow others to be nurtured, to be sustained from your place of overflow. So I had made that post and a couple other posts because that's how the Lord deals with me. When something is on my mind, I like to share it, or he prompts me to share it. And so right after that, I had a sister in Christ. She reached out to me. She was like, sis, she was like, man, you just blessed me this morning. It wasn't about that particular post, but it was about another one about how don't put, I guess, a frame or what you think your blessing is going to come through. Don't judge where it may come, because your breakthrough might not be dressed up the way that you think it's supposed to. That conversation led into another conversation, and we were talking about how sisters can come together, and where one might be one place, one is in another place, but it's always something in the room for you if you come humbly, and if you humble enough to receive from your sister. Because your true sister only wants what's best for you. She really wants you to succeed. So we got into a conversation about relationships and about our virtue, and coming from multiple relationships that may have been dysfunctional, we've learned a lot about what not to do from those things, and it has perfected us. And we're just at a place in our walk and in our lives that it's like, you know what, you really need to come with it. And when I say come with it, it's like you have to have something of a place of value to get my virtue. And so many times in our lives, we would just pour out our virtue on people that are not deserving, because we don't know the value of our virtue, or may not even see it within ourselves. And so what we end up doing is that anybody that comes and show us any type of interest, then we pour out that virtue, and everybody's not worthy of that virtue. And so what level of virtue you have is the level of people that you tend to attract. And so what we were talking about was like, why do I attract these type of people? It's like, or in a intimate relationship, it's like you have that same character of a man, is just in different bodies. And until we get to a place to where we understand our virtue, because he's not really after your stuff. Most times they're not after your stuff. They come after your virtue. And you have, these different types of men. They might be dressed up, maybe dressed down, that we tend to attract, and we can only attract what's really on the inside of us. And if you don't value your virtue, or know exactly what your value is, you're going to just give it away and waste it away to whomever. And so we were talking about how is he your brother or is he a king coming into your life? And sometimes we want to fix kings and we want to build a king, and that's not our place. Now, if he's our brother, then we can add to our brother. But anybody who is a king, you're going to come in, you're going to complement his life. You're not going to have to fix it. You're not going to have to compete with it. If he's not a king, then he's your brother, or he's somebody that's coming in. Men know to look for your virtue, and that virtue is going to benefit him whether you know how to use it or not. If he's just somebody that's coming to pull from your virtue but not looking to add something to your life, then he's coming not necessarily to steal, kill, or destroy, but to leech that virtue out of your life. And sometimes we'll do that. We'll end up trying to build a man. I got that from another sister, conversation that I had with another sister in Christ. And she said, no, sis, I can't build a man. I can't build him. Now, I'm not trying to take and strip him. If he comes into my life, I'm going to add something to his life, but he's got to add something to my life. And sometimes if you're heartbroken, you just want somebody in your life that you don't know that his purpose in your life is for y'all to complement one or another. Not one to pull and to make them fix your life, or vice versa, you're doing the same thing. But let me go back to talking to this other sister about the people that we attract in our lives. So you have this one, and I've had this experience. They'll come into your life. They'll be everything that you think that you need them to be. And so they already see, they might be attracted to you by what you have, your assets and all this other stuff. But what they're really seeking after is your virtue, the quality of your virtue. If you know what to do with that virtue, if you value that virtue, then they'll pull for that because it's their benefit. But somebody that's really of value, who really loves you, he's going to seek after that virtue. He's going to see that virtue. And then he's going to test that virtue to see if this is a virtue that's going to complement his life. Now, this is just conversation I'm having with my sister, because so many of us would give our all. We're so wanting to love, and we're wanting to nurture, and then we end up in these doggone relationships that are breaking and destroying us because they're not looking to compliment you. They're not looking to bring or add value to your life. And they can only do that if you know what value you have in your life. And at this point in time and seasons, that season that we're in, we're at a place like we're whole now. We don't necessarily need somebody to build us, of course, edify us, but we don't necessarily need somebody to come in to complete us or to compete with us. And we're no longer trying to fix you. We're no longer trying to make you a king. We're no longer trying to build a man. And I got that from my sister in Christ, another sister in Christ. And I was like, we're nurturers. We think we're supposed to help. It's a difference between helping and trying to go in and restore and fix it. And don't get it twisted, because sometimes we're looking on the outside of what he has obtained, but he may not have no morals. He may not have any integrity. Or he wants you to come in and you got to have what he has in order for y'all to be together. He don't want to add anything to your life. So anyway, I just want to share that about a conversation that I had with one of my sisters. Like, no, sis, you got to know the value of your virtue. If you don't know the value of your virtue, then that's what you're going to attract, whether it be a romantic relationship, whether it be friendships, then that's what you're going to tolerate, because you don't know how to put proper boundaries of value around your virtue. Know what your virtue is. Know what value you bring. And then don't easily display it or present it to people who have not been proven. I'm learning that for myself. That conversation was real. It was real. It was real. So anyway, I want to share that for my little nugget today. I didn't get to record yesterday, but I said, that's a conversation we really need to have with all of our true loving sisters. Don't compete with her. Glean with her, because she brings so much. Right behind me is a table. She brings something different to the table than what you may bring, but you can glean from her any state that she's in. You can glean from her experience. You can glean some wealth from her wisdom. But anyway, That's my 2 cents. Y'all have a good Friday.